Hey guys, and welcome to Battlefield 5, which apparently became Battlefield 1 with the new TTK update. I'm kidding, don't worry, it's not Battlefield 1 yet, but as you saw by the title of today's video, we're gonna take a look at the changes to the gunplay that were applied today, in fact, and talk a little bit about them. If you're a new player, don't worry, we're gonna explain everything from the scratch, or from the beginning to an end, whatever, let's get to it. So, if you just started playing Battlefield games, there is a big chance you actually didn't come across the term TTK yet. What does the TTK mean? Essentially, it's a short version for time to kill. And time to kill means the amount of time that you need to kill an enemy from the beginning when you start shooting to the moment when the enemy dies. Pretty much, that's the explanation for TTK. Just to give you a little bit of a background explanation as to why this TTK drama is becoming so apparent in Battlefield 5 community, ever since the game was revealed to us in May, DICE was always claiming that with Battlefield 5 they want to create a tactical shooter. You will no longer be able to just run and gun mindlessly around the battlefield, so therefore they decided to go with low TTK. Which means that it will be faster for you to take out enemies, but also it will be faster for them to take you out. The message was generally very well received by the player base because there were tons of people who didn't quite enjoy the damage model in Battlefield 1. And, well, I don't quite want to discuss whether they were right or they were not right, but the point is, it was very well received by the community. What happened yesterday, couple of hours after DICE released the official patch notes for the hotfix, which, if you haven't seen yet, here's the video explaining all of the changes in the hotfix. Basically, couple of hours after they posted patch notes, they come up with the article saying that tomorrow, which is today, when I'm recording this video and also when I'm posting this video, so when you are watching, never mind, you guys know this. The point is, they come out with an article saying, tomorrow we are changing time to kill to a higher values, which means that now damage of the weapons will be lower and it will take you longer to take out an enemy. Now, I don't quite want to go into this topic just yet, because I want to continue on with the story about the community's reaction and how it all went down. Essentially, they post about changes. First, changes will apply to all of the servers in the game except for one mode, which will be called Core Conquest or something along those lines. They haven't really specified it, but it will be called Core Conquest, and it will be the only one which will have old being the original time to kill values from when Battlefield 5 was released, meaning that from today the whole game changes into a testing environment. Now, all of the guys who are claiming that Battlefield 5 after the release it's still a beta, well, now they kinda get the confirmation from EA that yes, they were right, because they're rolling out updates which are a test. It's not even a final decision, it's a test. And this test will be applied to all of the servers in the whole game. So essentially, the whole Battlefield 5 is turning into a testing environment. And what was the justification for such move? Well, here is part of the statement posted up on Reddit yesterday, explaining the update, and here is the reasoning for it. Statistically, an average player was dying too fast and too often, so they decided to increase it to appeal to the casual player base. Now, those of you guys who watch me for a longer time now know that I've always been voicing the opinion saying that games are designed for everyone and everyone has equal rights to play the game and enjoy it, so I'm not here to bash average casual players who play once a week, who aren't pulling good statistics. That's not the point. The point is, it wasn't really communicated to us in any way. Essentially what EA did couple days ago is they said they are listening to the community's feedback and they want to work with us on improving the game, whereas couple of days later they just tell us they are implementing new TTK, which majority of the players don't want, clearly, looking at the outrage all over Reddit, Twitter and everywhere else. So instead of putting it to a limited amount of servers where players can actually test it out before they implement it to the whole game, They just tell us, hey, we're implementing it to the whole game and yeah, deal with it. What can you do? And what bothers me even more in this whole situation is the fact that we've had community test environment in Battlefield 4, in Battlefield 1, and we've always been testing out all those changes before they have been applied to the final version of the game. This time around, it's completely opposite. They're releasing a testing update to the whole game before gathering any sorts of feedback from the player base. It doesn't make any sense. Also, given the fact that at the time of me recording this video and also at the time of them deploying the new time to kill update into the game, they have in fact not resolved an issue of broken netcode in Battlefield 5 yet, and therefore we still have the bug making you feel like you die within one frame when you get shot with a weapon that requires like 5 or even more bullets to kill you. But when it comes to the actual TTK changes, it's actually not as bad as some of the players claim it to be. Because, first of all, it's not Battlefield 1 again, because the core weapon mechanics aren't changing. We are still playing a game which is mainly balanced out by recoil patterns on the rifles. Yes, I know there is still a little bit of spread in Battlefield 5, but it's not Battlefield 1, where the spread increase per shot was so big that you weren't actually able to take someone out on longer distances with automatic weapons. Theoretically speaking, such update could increase the skill gap in the game because you would be required to consistently lead your shots onto the target. Now, the problem becomes more apparent when we aren't talking about weapons such as, I don't know, STG-44 or the Sturmgewehr, the default weapon for the assault, because when you take a look at weapons such as the Model 8 for the sniper, which is a semi-automatic weapon, there is a big problem, because if the weapon is 2-shot kill now before the update and has only 5 bullets in the magazine, if it becomes 3 shots to kill after DICE increases the time to kill, now you're not able to take out 2 enemies before you have to reload the weapon. Same for the other guns. There is a significant difference if we take a look at the weapon which has 30 bullets in the magazine and despite having lower damage, in a perfect scenario you can still easily take out 3 enemies before you have to reload, and a weapon which has 5 bullets but requires you to hit 3 shots to take out an enemy, which means you have to reload before scoring the next kill. There's also a couple of different aspects in the game which indirectly but still do somewhat affect how the gunplay works, and one of them being the movement, which in Battlefield 5 is incredibly sloppy. If you guys remember, we had the perfect movement in the first alpha and the second alpha, and then DICE applied this stupid nerf to the side-to-side movement where pretty much you're not able to strafe. You're simply unable to move side to side during the gunfight, thanks to the majority of community complaining that it's actually not skillful, which, well, is completely the opposite, because if someone is moving, you actually have to lead shots and look for the changes in their movement, but whatever. CSGO has it, Rainbow Six Siege has it, all of the games that are competitive have it, but apparently you were a noob if you used strafing in Battlefield 1 and then Battlefield 5, so whatever. To summarize the video, I'll just say this. I prefer the old TTK, but the new one isn't that bad. It's very decent and it plays out pretty well. What I find super funny though is that a couple of months ago I've created this video talking about how Battlefield 5 could potentially be too difficult for a normal player who isn't spending their whole time playing Battlefield games, and in the end we see DICE actually making changes to appeal to the more casual player base, because I don't know why, I suppose the player retention is just bad and normal players who play the game don't find it super pleasing, so they're just not coming back to play the game again. I don't know. I don't have any statistics, it's just my personal opinion, but something is super weird if they're changing the core gameplay before they fix an actual issues, such as not getting the company coins. How am I supposed to upgrade my new weapons coming this week in Tides of War if I don't have coins? DICE, hello. Anyway, I should probably end the video right now. As always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield.